see. Nothing but blue skies do I see. Oh, don't, bluebird, singing a song. Nothing but little bluebird all day long. I never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things going so right. Noticing the day hurrying by. When you're in love, oh, don't they fly? Blue days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies from now on.
Hey, welcome to Boomer vs. X. Come one, come all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that alert button. You wanted the best? Well, now you're gonna get the best. Hello, Boomer. How are you?
You talking to me? Are you talking to Al Jolson? Blue sky. I had to go back 125 years to get that under the... That's not copyrighted anymore. Thank you to all the subscribers. Keep coming back for more pain and punishment from two old fogies. If you like this content, share it. Torture your friends with us. Share the content. Oh, look at these two old guys.
Jesus Christ, for the love of God. We're dying here. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the effing subscribe button. This guy doesn't have much longer to live.
Yeah, man. You know what I heard the other day?
What's that?
By, was it 10 or 15 years? I think it was 10 or 15 years. Half the boomers will be dead. Can you believe that? We're all gone.
Sorry, man. I'm getting over the worst cold ever. That's why we've been gone for so long.
Because of him.
And if you don't... YouTube is a beast that must constantly be fed. If you take 2 days off, your impressions drop to the point where your channel is almost dead. If you take a week, you have a dead channel. Right now, we have a dead channel, Boomer.
He's going to make content on my deathbed.
Oh, my God. Probably. Blue sky. All right. Today's show, we're going to contrast X with blue sky. What do you say, Boomer? What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
We're gonna. This wasn't around when we were growing up. X and blue sky and YouTube. It was non-existent.
Yeah, we had record stores and Prodigy.
We used to have to write letters and call each other on the phone to talk.
Do you
now
remember,
you just go on X and type whatever you know.
Do you remember the morning time? You would read the paper.
Mm-hmm.
You would read the news. There was always that guy that does this. Opens a paper and starts reading it.
Do you remember every man had a newspaper under his arm? Remember those days? A 25-year-old is not going to know what's a newspaper. What's a magazine? Remember magazines?
Oh, there used to be little booths, and you would stick a quarter in it, and you would open up the little door, and you could get your newspaper. And they were always near a bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
They also had these little booths that sold porn. It was called the LA Express.
Express. Oh boy. And remember how it used to be covered? The front panel used to be covered. You could only see her face.
Yeah.
What's in there? What's in there? You're as a teenager going.
Yeah, you're like peeking through. Or I would love it how some kid or some pervert would open it, and then they would take themselves an LA Express, but then they would take one of the LA Expresses in a stack, and they would wedge it between the door and the booth, so that anybody could just walk by, open the booth, and take what they wanted. We as kids used to take one, and then once we got to school, we would plaster them up on the bathroom wall.
Yeah.
And they were raunchy, man. They were raunchy.
Yeah.
And in the back, they had a classified where you could call a prostitute.
Those classifieds.
Remember
now it's what Tinder. I think it's called Tinder, something like that.
Yeah.
Those are the classifieds.
Do you remember Craigslist when the
Yes.
internet got off the ground? You could
Yes.
go on Craigslist and you could buy whatever your heart desired, but you could also get a prostitute on Craigslist. They clamped down on all that.
Do you remember the huge magazine booths at the Santa Monica Promenade?
Before you say that, I just want to say I was single at the wrong time. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, there was this huge stand. It was a circular stand. It was huge at the Santa Monica Promenade, and it was nothing but every magazine you could ever imagine. Those days are gone. Now it's all on X and Blue Sky and Rumble and whatever.
You're talking about new magazine stands?
Yeah. Remember that huge magazine stand at the Promenade?
Those were the best. And you could get foreign magazines.
You could get everything.
Everything you want. And you always had this camaraderie with the owner who just sat there selling magazines.
You know the owner. You gave him a tip. Yeah.
Hey, I got your magazine from Spain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, those were the days.
But see, that may have been the same as X and Blue Sky, but it was more intimate. It was more human contact because you would have to go there in a crowd amongst people and talk to the owner and browse with other people and talk. And it was a much more human connection. X, you're just behind your computer. I don't know who you are. I don't even know if you're even a robot or nothing, or if you're even human.
You could look to your right or to your left. You could see a pretty girl reading a magazine, and you could start talking to her.
Yeah.
But nowadays, well, I was thinking this because you and I were talking about this, and it's just different. Kids these days, they DM each other, and that's how they meet. So they hear us talk, and they say, well, I just DM a girl on Facebook or Instagram, and we go out. That's how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
You just reach out like a pervert, and you DM somebody, and you go out on a date.
Dances. There are no more sock hops. There are no more American bandstands. There are no more...
well, there are. They're just different. They're called clubs.
Well, I mean, I used to go to clubs and watch live bands that would go on the road.
Well, now they show up.
Discotheques.
Right, but it's like I said, it's different. Now they show up, they listen to the music, they fraternize with each other. The majority of them are all on drugs. Well, we were on drugs too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have clubs, they just don't dance at those clubs. They listen to music at those clubs.
Mm-hmm.
They live stream.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I look back in the days where we grew up, and it was so much better.
Well, like I told you before, half of us old guys are going to be gone, and I'm going to be gone in about 5-10 years. I've only got left.
Yeah.
And we are our deaths take to the grave our views of the world, our morality, our politics, our personalities, and our fights. Our history is gone. Talk to your grandfather before he goes. Get him on record. Talk to about all the old stories that he's got in his head. Because once he's gone, and there's not going to be a history of that. There's not going to be a history of what he went through. Today's generation, we're a product of what we were raised like, and today's 20-year-old is a product of what they're raised like. We were staunchly anti-communist. We were staunchly pro-American. Those are our values, and they're going to die with us. What's a 25-year-old raised by Marxists, hating the country, gonna be like? What's that future of America gonna be like?
So in other words, write it down. You have John the Apostle, Peter, James, all those guys wrote it down. Had they not wrote it down, we wouldn't have a Bible. You got to write it down. You got to take a record of everything. Otherwise, it never existed.
You and I grew up in an extremely Christian nation. The moral majority. Jerry Falwell went to the White House. Billy Graham would give the invocation at the inaugural. We take that to the grave. Nobody's going to church anymore?
Well,
they're all atheists?
True. That's not true. There are much more atheists than there were when we were younger, but there has been a resurgence of people studying the gospel and going back to church.
Well, X is a new thing to me. Blue Sky is a new thing to me.
Boomer started an X account and he lasted like 3 weeks.
Because it got boring. It was just video after video after video of
people fighting.
And this is what I used to see when I used to see the Alarma Mexican papers, bloodshed. That's all on X. And then the politics of the day, which I could get on the news. It wasn't. I thought it was going to be something new, revolutionary, brand spanking new, something I've never seen before. But it was just the same rehash of what I'd seen already in magazines.
What is that digital scrolling news thing in Times Square? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You look at, what's it called? It's on a building and it scrolls the world's news.
I know what you're saying. I know exactly. It's a neon. It's all done with LEDs now.
Right.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Well, that was a conception of X. That's what with the creators, Dorsey and them, that's what they envisioned. They wanted a platform where you could go on and get global news in a heartbeat. So that's what it was originally envisioned to be. And then it just became black people beating up white people. Yeah.
You see, that was the Faces of Death, that I grew up with. That was the Alarma newspaper of the Mexicans that I grew up with. A black guy stabbing a white guy to death every frame. I thought it was something different than that, you know, or politics. Well, I could get a newspaper for that, and I guess the newspapers aren't here anymore. X took care of that, or it replaced it. And people still want to see the gore. Gore sells. Right. If it bleeds, it leads, right?
Right.
So I guess I was expecting something. I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting something that blew my mind.
Well, you got on the bus too late. That's what, when Twitter first became Twitter, it was closer to that. Especially like when Bin Laden got taken care of, taken out. Mm-hmm. A lot of what were they, Pakistani? They found him in Pakistan.
Yeah.
A lot of the Pakistanis were tweeting second by second. There's a helicopter up in the sky. I hear gunfire. A helicopter went down. They're carrying the body into the helicopter. They're gone. What the hell was that? So you got on the bus a little late. I got on Twitter in the beginning, and I found it pretty cool. I found it a perfect substitute for the newspaper. And then something weird happened. The leftist, progressive, communists really took control of it. I remember I called somebody a hood rat on Twitter. And I was suspended for 2 weeks. In 2020, they really clamped down on Twitter. You couldn't say anything even remotely close to critical towards progressives. You would just get suspended. So I went on Blue Sky and I made myself an account, an undercover account. I am undercover as a conservative on Blue Sky.
Okay.
It's funny, I used to bully Mark Hamill on X, especially after the 2024 election. And then he just went silent. Him and Stephen King just went silent for a little bit, and they went to Blue Sky. And so we're just going to check out X and Blue Sky. Boomer and I were trying to figure out how to do this show, and we figure we're going to see the difference between the two. So we searched the assassination attempt on President Trump, the latest assassination attempt on President Trump.
Yeah.
So let's give it a whirl. All right, here we are. We are on X. Let's look at the first post. Cole Allen assassination attempt on Trump. 23 seconds, you will see a shot. It misses the gunman, but almost certainly hits a police officer. Center of the third by far wall. He was wearing a good bulletproof jacket. It's funny, too, because check this out. A canine sniffed this guy out, but nobody listened to the dog. So here's Allen. Look, the canine followed him.
It's right behind him. It's right behind him.
Look, hey, I smell a rat. Look at him.
The officer must have known if If you see a guy go into a room and then he darts and hides,
Well, look,
that's
he
not going to
looked at
raise a
him-
red flag for you?
He looked at him for like 5 seconds. Let's take a look at that again. Okay.
I know exactly what he's doing. I did the same thing. He's assessing the situation and reassessing the situation, but you're not a normal person. You are a police officer. I was a peace officer dealing with criminals. Everything was suspicious. If I saw a kid by himself dart into a room and I'm right behind him and all of a sudden I don't see him, boom! What's this guy up to?
Let's watch that again. There's the assassination guy. Here's the dog, follows him right in there. And you can see the officer kind of checks him out. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe the guy got out of visual.
It doesn't matter. He should have relied on his cop gut instinct. Everybody's a suspect.
Now check this out. I just said maybe he got out of sight, but I don't think so because he comes out of that room real quick.
Right away.
Watch. Boom. He's got the big old gun.
And if that's a Secret Service agent, I would reprimand him.
Do you think
Looking
the guy
the
with
other
the dog?
way, dawdling, leaning on the post. Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah. What about the guy with the dog? You think he's just a local cop or what?
I don't know. They usually hire local cops to do that, but they have their own.
Well, here's the
if that was a Secret Service dog and a Secret Service agent, I would reprimand that guy too. The only guy who pulled out his gun is that guy. Look at these guys at the side. I would have different tactics. I would study this film. What can you do different?
He's firing.
And he's getting the crossfire. Of course you're going to hit your own guys. He's just panic fire. That's not a professional fight. You watch your downside. You watch what's in the background. You watch the crossfire.
Let's look at this post. Another assassination attempt on Donald Trump. In America, citizens are actually trying to assassinate their own president so they can become celebrities and put their name in the history books. What a wild country. All right, let's take a look at this.
And those guys in the riot gear, in the suit up, they were way too late to the fucking party. I remember my Secret Service when it had an assassination attempt. Those guys were right on it, real fucking fast, man. Those guys were record breakers. They were on the president, on the vice president, whoever was getting shot at, like that in a heartbeat, heartbeat. Those guys were too late.
What about the Kennedy assassination? There was a lot of problems in that.
That was a conspiracy to keep the Secret Service agents a car behind when they wanted to be right on the side of the car with the top on. And that's a different thing.
And they had the top down.
Yeah.
That was
shoot
weird.
me in the head.
Yeah, don't shoot me in the head.
Yeah.
But what you can do is please like, share, and subscribe and hit that alert button. Yeah, man.
But what are they saying?
Okay, you want to look at the comments? Here, let's look at these comments. We are not that audacious in Nigeria. Just look at how smart their police officers are. If it's Nigeria police, you will see potbellies everywhere. I wonder why no one in Nigeria have attempted this to their president. Well, I think in Nigeria, you would be immediately executed, right?
You would think.
You would think. Who be that babe way day try follow Trump? I don't know what that is. White House shooting suspect Cole Thomas Allen told law enforcement after his arrest that he wanted to shoot Trump administration officials.
Mm-hmm.
Shit is fake. Let's see what these people are saying. Bro, it was like 10 of them. That is complete incompetence. Blaming pay is not an excuse. That MFer would have made it through even if they were being paid.
Okay, that's a constructive criticism.
This one's a little more on your side, like the last one. No security should be relaxed on the job. Their job is to be fully alert and their attention on detail. And the security detail failed.
Especially if you're Secret Service. That is your whole job when you do presidential diplomatic. The Secret Service does a lot of things, but if you're assigned to that, your whole job is to stand a post.
Right.
That's your whole job. Just like the guards at the unknown soldier tomb guarding the White House. You're standing at attention for however many hours. You're at a post. You're standing at a post. I've stood a post before. I've done it. It's hard on my old feet, but I did it as guarding prisoners at the hospital. You stand a post at the courthouse. You stand a post. You have to for your shift. And that guy was, Lexi, leaning on this, and they were all chitter-chattering, and yeah, it's boring as all hell. Nothing ever happens. It's boring. Your feet are aching. Your back is cracking.
Yeah.
You're hungry. You want to go home.
It's a hard job. You're a sentinel. The press was in danger too. Do they realize that comrades are expected to take one for the team? This guy could have caused so much havoc and mayhem. It could have been Columbine.
And try standing a post on the graveyard shift. You got to keep yourself awake at 3 a.m. You're like, oh God. But
the assassin...
that's what you have to do. It wasn't 2 a.m. It was what, 8 o'clock at night or something?
Yeah. Was the assassin shot? Was he hit?
I don't know. I think the guy missed. I don't know. But yeah, well, those are reasonable comments.
Could they have been any less engaged? And watching the one agent pull out his gun was like watching Barney Fife on Andy Griffith. Maybe if he had been paying closer attention, he wouldn't have been fumbling around trying to get his gun out. It's like watching the Keystone Cops. Apparently, they don't feel inspired to put their lives on the line for a dementia-addled 2-bit huckster.
Okay, that's harsh.
Funding had nothing to do with the incompetence. They were funded during Butler. What was the excuse then? Oh, right. A sloped roof. Huh. All right, let's check out Blue Sky.
Well, at least they're showing in their own jaded way a concern for the president.
Well, I mean, if you put the two together, there are more reasonable posts regarding concern for their president. I mean, you're gonna get the progressives in there for sure. But then when you go to Blue Sky,
okay, let's check out Blue Sky.
Blue Sky is like Truth Social. I have a Truth Social account too, and Truth Social is just completely on the right. It's really boring.
Mm-hmm.
There's no contrast. There's no opposing view, and that's what Blue Sky is. All right, let's check out Blue Sky.
We could have shown Al Jolson in blackface. Meh.
So there's not much on Blue Sky. It's pretty nil. Here's something. I think Trump's heroic pose, staged to mimic the raising of the flag at Iwo Jima after the first attempted assassination, gave the game away. Had it or any of the other so-called threats to his life been real, he would have been in a corner, in the fetal position, shitting himself. And this is by Barbara Cooney. And it's kind of hard to find any video of the assassination attempt because Blue Sky is pretty boring. I remember when I saw the Hitler assassination attempt, I was actually watching the rally in real time. And all of a sudden, it all went down. About a month before that Butler assassination attempt, some guy approached the stage and threw a shoe at Trump. And I remember that scared me to my core because I didn't know if it was a gun or what it was. It could have been a bullet instead of a shoe for all I knew. So literally a month later, somebody is shooting at him. And I remember, oh my God, they killed him. And when I saw him get up and raise his fist with blood pouring down his face, at that very moment, I said to myself, we won the election. We won. That's it. We won the 2024 election.
So there's nobody celebrating the assassination attempt?
Let's see.
Because they celebrate every death of the conservative.
You know what it is? It's a lot of this is not real.
Well, the fact that you're not seeing the actual assassination attempt on Blue Sky means that they're blasé about it. They're like, oh, another one. X gave constructive criticism, harsh criticism of the security around our president. We want him secure. These guys don't give a damn. These guys don't care.
Well, they're disappointed. They're disappointed that the president wasn't taken out, which is really scary to me because I've said it once and I'll say it again. I would have taken a bullet for Joe Biden. And I can't stand the man.
No, you wouldn't have taken a bullet for Joe Biden. You would have taken a bullet for the presidency of the United States, the office. That's what you're there for. You're not taking a bullet from him personally. You're taking a bullet for the continuity of the government and the protection of the country. That's what you're taking a bullet for.
Listen, Mr. Contrarian, pull your pants up and relax there, okay? Okay? Damn it.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, want to fight? Blue skyer.
Blue sky. All right. I have two things I believe that could be considered conspiracy theory. Donald Trump staged his own assassination attempt, and Epstein was murdered, most likely by Donald Trump. Okay. The government just confirmed Epstein didn't die in that cell. They faked the body transport to cover the switch. A viral screenshot exploding right now claims officials admitted Epstein's suicide was staged, just as staged as Trump assassination attempt. Not surprised at all. Trump did this.
Did you read anything about Epstein in the X accounts? No, there was nothing about Epstein in the X accounts. These guys are conflating, connecting the two Epstein, this and the Trump assassinations for the Epstein files. They're still on the Epstein files.
It's cope. They're never going to let the Epstein files go. Look at how long they held on to the felon. He's got 31 felonies, which evolved into he's a rapist, which evolved into he's a PDF file, which evolved into, I mean, it's just cope. When Trump is finally gone, hopefully soon, the truth will come out about everything. The election cheat, the assassination attempt, everything Epstein, the bottomless greed and corruption. The reasons why he rolls over to Putin and Bibi, selling pardons, etc., etc. It's all conspiracy theory.
They still think that Trump is a Russian stooge? Is a Russian a stooge of Putin? They still think that? God.
Here, let's look at this. More Republican BS, and fake old Trump fell down when the Secret Service tried to get him off the stage. Looks like this was an allowed, anticipated assassination attempt. I'll never believe anything a MAGA Republican says. They are all corrupt, lying traitors. Look at another one. Look at another. This last time Trump arranged a fake assassination attempt, his poll numbers were in the toilet. This time, they're swirling around in the drain.
But they don't give any evidence. They don't show video evidence. They don't show file. They don't show any documentation.
Evidence? We don't need no stinking evidence.
It's just rhetoric. This is the Democratic mindset, like I've told you before. Two different personalities. And this is the same rhetoric that they used against Abraham Lincoln, the South. The Southern Democrat used this exact same language, wishing the death of Abraham Lincoln, our American president. The Southern Democrat is the blue sky Democrat. He went from Confederate to communist. It's the same lineage.
Let's look at Stephen King's account. My God, these people, they're crazy.
And they're dangerous. They're the same guys that blew you apart during the Civil War to keep slaves, people in human bondage, and they're the same guys that are trying to kill the president now. They killed the President Lincoln then, they're going to kill President Trump now. It's the same personality.
This is by Stephen King. Sometimes fiction tells truths that facts cannot. It was true of Steinbeck's The Grapes of Wrath, and it is true of Lawrence Wright's heartfelt novel of the days leading up to the Hamas attack on Israel in 2023. The human scale is suspenseful, hard to put down, even harder to forget.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's he talking about?
What's he talking about?
These guys think they're so smart.
So, Stephen King, listen to the story that shaped a generation, decades after starring in Stand By Me, the film adaptation of The Body. Will Wheaton lends his voice to an all-new recording of the audiobook. Let's look at what Will Wheaton has to say.
And it's funny how John Wilkes Booth was a famous actor, and he was a hardcore rabid slave Democrat, and all of Hollywood.
Yeah, they never changed.
Isn't that funny? How it's
disturbing.
Actors, it's always the actors that want to kill you.
It's disturbing. Why? Is it because they pretend for a living? They're not living in reality?
Because a Democrat is a degenerate, a criminalistic degenerate. John Wilkes Booth wanted to kill the president of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, so that he could own people as property and violate little black girls. So that he could rip a black baby from the black mother as property and sell it. That's what he killed Abraham Lincoln for. It was in their Constitution. They put it in writing. In the Confederate States of America's Constitution, they codified the African Negro is property. The African Negro will be returned as property to his rightful owner. They put it in their Constitution. Article 4, Section 2, I think it was. Look it up. I'm not making this up. They codified the Fugitive Slave Act. No one will interfere with the slave owner's property. Then you must be returned. I'm paraphrasing. Any new state will be a slave state, and there's nothing you can do about it. Slavery of the African Negro is irrevocable. They put it in writing, and John Wilkes Booth read that, and he said, yeah, I'm going to kill for this. Negroes, blacks are property, and their babies are my property, and I can do whatever I want with them, including have sex with them. And these new Democrat progressives are shooting Trump, our president, trans rights kids, mutilate kids, drag queen story hour, gay pride parades, all of it. Replacing you and me with illegal aliens? Yeah, that's the same mindset from Confederate to communist. They're all the same.
They murdered Charlie Kirk.
And they murdered Charlie Kirk for a furry transgender group of guys murdered a Christian, a faithful husband, father to his children. Right. These degenerate, criminalistic minded. It's a personality type, not a party. And what does a Democratic Party personality type attract? A criminalistic mindset, a degeneracy mindset. Just like the KK attracts white supremacists, it's the same. It's a club that attracts certain types of people.
So we went from John Wilkes Booth to this.
It's the same. I want my president dead because he doesn't believe in this. It's the same. I am going to use extreme violence to get my worldview across. It's unpopular, but I'm going to shoot you in the head so that I can make it come true. They haven't changed since he was 5 years old. I'm the winner. I'm not the winner. I'm going to smash your toys until you proclaim me the winner of the game. Extreme violence to reimpose their worldview on us.
Oh, let's look at Bruce Springsteen.
I tell you, the Bruce Springsteen that I saw 40 years ago entertained the pants off me. I love them. But this Bruce Springsteen?
I've never been a Bruce Springsteen fan. I've never understood it. I've always just thought that his music was boring.
He put on the greatest con game in the history of recorded pop music. He took on the persona of the all-American, working-class, gung-ho America guy when he was a multimillionaire, making a lot of money, hating the country, and he sold it. He sold it. I'm red, white, and blue through and through with the hat, and the American flag in my back pocket. I'm wearing blue jeans, and it was all a lie. It was all an image. It was all iconography. He didn't believe in that. Born in the USA is a critique. The involvement of America in the Vietnam War and how we treated the veteran. But everybody thinks you hear that anthem. Born in the USA. Oh yeah, let's go USA. But it's actually a critique. It's a dig.
I remember seeing the Bruce Springsteen album, and it was of his ass with a handkerchief sticking out of it. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the handkerchief like an American flag?
It was an American flag.
Yeah,
he wrapped the American flag on him and got that persona when it was all a lie.
Yeah, and when Born in the USA came out, it was such an anthem.
Exactly.
It made you proud.
It made you proud. But it was actually an embarrassing song for the country. He was embarrassed. He was ashamed. But he fooled us. He tricked us musically, sonically, lyrically, because it starts Born in the USA. Yeah, let's go. And then he goes into his bullshit, what it's all about. But he starts with Born in the USA. So it gets you all wrapped up.
What was the song about? It was about a veteran who was kind of left out in the dust.
Exactly. And it was a critique of the Vietnam War. Why did I go fight the yellow man? What was that for? And what's this all about? And I'm being mistreated. I don't have a job. The VA is kicking me out of the hospitals. And blah, blah, blah.
I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with, because that's just the story of a perspective from a veteran who was down on his luck. What I have a problem with is all the shit he talks off stage. So here we have just announced special guest Tom Morello will be performing on stage with Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band on selected songs. And Tom Morello is another rock star who's suffering from TDS. So they're teaming up to spread the hate.
They're saying that half the audience, half the crowd in the United States are against the working class when we are the working class, but we're against the working class because we voted for the other guy. I have never said, Bruce Springsteen, you have to vote Republican. Never, and I never will say that. I will never say, Bruce Springsteen, if you don't vote Republican, I'm going to punch you in the face. I'm never going to do that. Why would I even say it? But that's what these guys are saying. You vote Republican, you vote conservative, you have conservative religious values, you're filth, and I'm going to step on you. And they will.
And then Bruce Springsteen wrote a song called Streets of Minneapolis, and we can't play it because we'll get hit with the copyright.
We'll get copyright. Great. Yeah, copyright. Like he needs more money.
Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen is gonna needs more money. He's worth $500 million, if not more, because I think he sold his catalog. He's worth $1 billion, but he needs money from us, from the working class. He's gonna squeeze the working class to put money in his pocket. Way to go, Bruce Springsteen. Way to born in the USA. Great to go. Yeah, Mr. Working fucking class.
I can't imagine getting $500 million. Can't imagine that.
And he's part of the working class? He's working class hero with the leather jacket and the American flag? You are no such thing. And if you are squeezing ordinary people with copyright strikes, ordinary people, I'm on a freaking pension. And you're going to take my last dime for you. Get out of here. Get the
This Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we reflect on a simple, enduring truth. The time is always right to do what is right. His words continue to challenge us to meet the moment, whatever it asks of us. So I guess he means be against Trump.
Whatever it asks is sacrifice to you and me. He doesn't have to sacrifice anything. He's living in the lap of luxury. You and I boycott this and boycott that. Don't buy that. Don't buy this. That's a sacrifice for us. We don't have the luxury of going to the store 100 miles away or doing without.
Yeah, I mean, I've never found the appeal of I've never have seen the appeal in that.
Mm-hmm.
I've always thought his music was just fucking trash. I've never understood it. And then the saxophone comes in. I don't even like the saxophone.
Clarence Clemens was a hell of a saxophone player. I'm not going to deny that. He was a brilliant musician on the saxophone.
So what?
And
who likes
his
the
sax
saxophone?
solo,
It sounds awful.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
his sax solo.
You know who was better than Bruce Springsteen?
His sax solo
far?
on Jungle Land makes me cry.
You know who was better than... It makes me cry, too. It sucks. Do you know who was better than Bruce Springsteen? By far? Who was way more American?
Who? John Fogerty.
Eddie and the Cruisers. Eddie and the Cruisers.
On the dark side.
On the dark side.
Dark side.
Yeah. On the dark side. That was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That was awesome, dude. I'm sorry. Yeah. Bruce Springsteen sucks. Long live Eddie. Well, that's Blue Sky, man. That's Blue Sky, dude. Yeah, I don't see... There's really not much on the Trump assassination on Blue Sky here. Yeah, it's just all conspiracy. Look, it's fake. It's fake. Let me ask you something, Boomer. The Butler assassination, do you think it was fake?
I think there's a lot of questions on that one that still haven't been answered. But I don't think it was fake. I think somebody wanted that guy taken out. And by the grace of God or whatever you believe in, he turned his head.
Now, if you were Trump, wouldn't you want to know everything about the Butler incident?
Yeah, if I was Trump, but are they going to tell you? They control all the... you can ask, as a president, you can ask for all the information from the CIA, but is the CIA going to tell you the truth? You really trust the CIA?
So do you think it's that scenario, or do you think he knows every little thing that happened regarding the Butler assassination, but he's just not saying anything? Do you think, what about that scenario?
I think it might be both. I really believe that the CIA, the NSA, you have to understand the president is temporary. These people are eternal. They live on. And if they control all the information that you and I see. And if they don't want to give out this information even to the president, who's going to stop them? Who's going to know that they have that information? The president doesn't even know. No one knows what information they've got.
Yeah, it's just
they run
the
country. I mean, I hate to say it.
We don't know.
It's not so conspiratorial.
No, you're absolutely 100% correct. They run the country. It baffles me, man. I thought by now you can't find any information on Thomas Crooks. None whatsoever. You can't find one shred of information on Thomas Crooks. He just like he never existed. How is that possible?
The state wants to get you, it'll get you, man.
Do you think we'll know about Thomas Crooks 30 years from now? Like now we know more about the Kennedy assassination.
We know more, but do we know the truth? No,
we don't. We don't.
He's been dead for what, 70 years?
Yeah, I heard
we still don't know?
They released the JFK files, and I thought we would know definitively, but no, it's like, did the Jews kill him? Did the CIA kill him? And everything's redacted.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't understand how much do we really know about the guy that tried to shoot him at the golf course? Yeah.
Even the Epstein files, we'll never know.
That's crazy.
We'll never
know
all the shit that guy was into. And half of it is redacted. Like you said, it's always redacted.
Half of it, like 98% of it's redacted. They give you a piece of paper and it's all black.
It's all black, yeah. So who knows what? I'm telling you, these guys got the information, they got the know-how, but they're not going to tell me. I'm not going to tell anybody.
No, they're not. All right, man. Look, Boomer, we've gone on way too long. Way too long. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that alert button for God's sake. Boomer, do you have any last words?
Share the content with other people. Annoy your neighbors. Share the content with that neighbor that across the street that's into Blue Sky. Flood our content into Blue Sky so they'll get mad. Who are these guys? Who are these guys?
Yeah, I'm undercover on Blue Sky.
Really?
Sometimes I'll post, that mean Trump, how long must we endure his leadership?
Hexer, he's 80 years old. He's going to die. He might live another 10 years, 10 years, who knows? I'm telling you, when I record your grandfather, put him on tape. You love to film everything. Put him on film. Have him tell his history, his stories, because when he dies, it's gone.
Here's the thing, though. When Trump is no longer president, because he's not running in 2028, he's too old. When Trump is no longer president, you're going to see the leftist progressive Democrats take their hate and put it on the new Republican candidate, whether it's DeSantis, whether it's Vance, whether it's Rubio. Whoever it may be, you're going to see them take their hatred for Trump and they're going to put it on the new Republican candidate.
That's all the inception of the Democratic Party was hate.
Yeah.
That's all it is that is their fuel. That is their nuclear fuel, their never-ending fuel. Hate.
White women, wake up and smell the coffee. You're being used, white women.
There's an old Confederate song called "I'm an Old Rebel."
And I know. Bette Miller wrote it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, bitch. No, it's called "I'm a Good Old Boy Rebel," and it was written in the 1860s during the Civil War. And in the lyrics, I hate the Northerner. I hate the Constitution. I hate the country. It's in their lyrics. I hate everything that's decent and good. I hate it. This is from 150 years ago. It's the same thing. The Democratic Party is fueled on nothing but hatred towards you, towards me, towards God. It's a hatred that will never be quelled ever. I hate that 2028, 2032, the hatred will keep coming until the end of time. We have to fight it.
They are godless. All right, man. BVX. Out.